The moon hangs above the council hall like a silent witness to my execution. Silver, cold, unblinking, its light spills through the high-arched windows, illuminating the room where I stand with my wrists bound by thin cords of woven silver thread. The restraints are more symbolic than necessary. Omegas are expected to be meek, obedient, agreeable. A rope is merely a reminder. Stay in your place, my place. The council chamber is circular, carved from ancient stone. At the center lies the pack emblem, an etched crest of a wolf with its head raised to the moon. Tonight it feels like the wolf is watching me suffer, expression frozen in contempt. Omegas are supposed to be beautiful, compliant, fertile. I am only two of those things now, if that. The room is filled with murmurs. Elders in ceremonial cloaks whisper behind hands. Ranked wolves sit elevated above us. Alphas in the front, their broad shoulders and confidence making them appear closer to gods than men. Betas line the back, silent shadows. My heart races so loudly I fear everyone can hear it. But the loudest thing is the absence of one voice, his. Cassian Blackthorn, my promised mate. My heart had foolishly belonged to him for 3 years. He stands among the council alphas, a dark figure carved from winter. He doesn't look at me. Doesn't acknowledge I exist. Not even a twitch in his jaw or a shift in his shoulders. The silence of someone who no longer cares. I want to scream. I want to collapse. Instead, I straighten my spine, keeping my chin up the way my mother taught me. Never let wolves scent your fear. They bite harder when they do. Alpha Rowan Hale, High Alpha of the Council, steps forward. His authority thrums through the air like a command from the moon itself. Even my wolf trembles. Leora Hale, he says, voice steady, detached. My last name echoes around the chamber, bouncing off the stone walls. You have undergone all required fertility testing. The Council Medical Division confirms your inability to conceive or carry offspring. My blood turns to ice. Infertile. The word is a death sentence in our world. Not just the loss of motherhood, the loss of worth. Omegas are valued solely for their future pups. No pups, no purpose. I swallow hard, throat thick. It's a mistake, I whisper. My voice shakes like leaves in a storm. Run it again, please. The doctor shifts nervously behind the alpha. I see something like pity flicker in her eyes. She's a beta. Betas understand helplessness. They live close to the bottom with us. Miss Hale, she says softly, we ran the tests 6 separate times. There was no change. 6 times. The room tilts. My wrists sting as I instinctively try to pull free of the silver-threaded rope. Cassian doesn't move. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't even breathe. My wolf whines in the back of my mind, quietly, painfully. She remembers him. Remembers every stolen glance, every late-night conversation where we dreamed of the future. The house by the river. The pups with dark hair and silver eyes. The way he'd said I was chosen, not a duty. I blink away tears. They burn like acid. Alpha Rowan continues, voice dropping to final judgment. And therefore, your mating contract with Alpha Cassian Blackthorn is officially. My heart tries to leap from my chest. My voice escapes before I can stop it. Don't say it, I whisper. He says it anyway. Terminated. The bond I'd built in my imagination, the bond I had believed was destined, snaps inside me with a sound only I can hear. The crowd shifts, whispers turning into open conversation. Such a shame, she was pretty. A fertile Omega would have secured the bloodline legacy. Cassian deserves better. Each word slices into me. I feel them physically, like a claw dragged down my chest. I risk a look at him. Cassian's face betrays nothing. His ice blue eyes stare straight ahead, fixed on the High Alpha. His expression is carved from emotionless marble. He had once looked at me with warmth, fondness, hope. Now he looks at me like a stranger. He never loved you, my wolf whispers. I bite back a sound, a hollow gasp, a desperate sob. I refuse to give this room satisfaction. The High Alpha gestures for the guards. Release her bonds. A guard steps forward and cuts the rope. The silver thread falls away, leaving my skin stinging and red. I rub my wrists gently, feeling pinpricks of numbness travel up my arms. You are dismissed, Rowan says. Dismissed. Thrown away. My life, everything I believed in, stripped in one sentence. But I won't walk out of here broken. Not in front of them. I take one step toward the exit when Rowan's voice freezes me again. One more matter, he says. As per council decree, an infertile Omega forfeits her home and pack inheritance. My breath stops. Home? No, I whisper. My home belongs to my mother's memory. You can't, it has already been reassigned to Alpha Cassian as part of the separation settlement. My world stops spinning. Cassian takes my home, the house by the river. The one with the apricot trees mother planted with her bare hands. Where I learned to paint. Where I cried after my mother died. Where I dared to love Cassian. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't flinch. He simply accepts it. Cassian, I breathe, voice breaking. Say something, please. He finally turns, slowly, deliberately. Our eyes meet. His are frigid, unreadable. Leora, he says, voice devoid of warmth, this is for the best. For the best? My voice cracks. You. Retaking everything from me. You have nothing I want anymore. The sentence is delivered without hesitation. Without regret. My knees nearly buckle. My wolf lets out a devastating, heart-shattering cry that echoes through my bones. He looks away first, as if looking at me costs him something. As if I'm unworthy. I force my spine straight. If they want an obedient Omega, they won't get one. You will regret this, I whisper, not as a threat, not out of anger. A prophecy. He doesn't answer, because to him, I no longer exist. Outside the council hall, night air hits me like a slap. I make it 3 steps down the stairs before my legs give out. I collapse into the cold stone, hugging my arms around my body. The world keeps moving around me, wolves walking past, council members chatting, life going on. But mine has stopped. Worthless Omega. Infertile. Rejected. The words spin in my head until I can't breathe. Tears drip onto the stone. I don't try to stop them now. What did you expect? Someone sneers behind me. I don't turn to see who. He's an alpha. He needs pups, not a burden. The door slams shut behind them. And I am alone. My chest aches so violently I press a palm against it. The moon watches me suffer. Why me? I look at the sky, clouds drifting, wind pulling at my hair. Why did you make me like this? A gentle breeze brushes against my face, warm and oddly comforting. Almost reassuring, as if the moon whispers back. Not broken, chosen. I close my eyes. The wind changes direction, circling around me, swirling, spiraling with a strange energy. Silver light touches the skin of my forearm and glows faintly. A pulse of warmth spreads from my chest, down my arms, into my fingertips. My wolf startles inside me, suddenly alert. What is happening? The air thickens. My heartbeat quickens. Something ancient stirs. Something that has been sleeping inside me since birth. I gasp as a flash of memory, not mine, fills my mind. 2 wolves. 2 newborn pups. Twin cries echoing under a blood-red moon. A legend whispered among packs for centuries. Twin alpha births come only from blessed Omega bloodlines. Once every 200 years. My wolf speaks one word. Destined. I fall backwards onto the grass, chest rising and falling rapidly, heart racing. I am not infertile. Something is changing, becoming, awakening. And one thing becomes terrifyingly clear, the council hasn't discovered my defect. They've discovered my power. When I finally stand, I don't look back at the hall. I walk into the forest, moonlight guiding me like a promise. Cassian took my home. He took my future. He took everything, but he has no idea what he just lost. 200 years have passed since an Omega carried twin alphas. And fate is already writing my story. Not broken, not discarded, chosen. I will rise. And when I do, they will all regret ever calling me worthless. The forest swallows me in silence. Night air is sharp in my lungs, crisp with the scent of winter pine. Dry leaves crack beneath my shoes as I take step after step away from the council hall, away from the stairs, away from humiliation. Away from him. My mind repeats the same words like a curse on a loop. Infertile, rejected, worthless. But somewhere under the ache, under the grief, another word flickers. Chosen. I clutch the small bag of belongings slung over my shoulder, a bag that holds everything the council allowed me to keep. A few clothes, my mother's old apron, 2 notebooks filled with sketches, a single picture of her. No home, no future, no pack, I keep walking until the council hall disappears behind the trees. Until my breath stops shaking. Until the night becomes more forgiving than the world I left behind. The path narrows, winding uphill. Moonlight filters through branches, soft and silvery, illuminating the trail ahead. The wind brushes my cheek, warm and grounding. It feels like someone guiding me. Like the world finally sees me. I push deeper into the forest, beyond the limits of the pack's scent boundary. Every step is a small rebellion. They wanted me gone? Fine. I'll give them silence. My stomach growls, humiliation mixed with hunger. I ate nothing since morning. My body still shakes, not from fear but loss. Cassian's words slice into me again, merciless and final. You have nothing I want anymore. I stop walking. My eyes burn. The ache in my chest swells, pressure building behind my ribs. I press the heel of my palm against my sternum. I had everything to give, I whisper into the darkness. No answer. Only the rustle of leaves. Maybe the universe doesn't owe me a response. Maybe it already gave me one. That flash of silver light, that strange energy awakening inside me. Something shifted, deep and impossible. But for now, I am only an Omega alone in the wilderness. I drag in a long breath and force myself to keep moving. The forest changes as I walk deeper, trees taller, older, moss blanketing their roots like velvet. The air turns colder. A thin mist creeps across the ground, swirling around my ankles as if trying to persuade me to turn back. But I don't. I won't. The world beyond the pack border is forbidden. Dangerous. Unknown. Alphas say Omegas cannot survive out here. I'm determined to prove them wrong. At some point, hours must have passed. My legs ache. My throat is dry. My fingertips are numb from the cold. I can barely see the path anymore, but the moon shines like a beacon, urging me forward. Then, I trip. My foot catches on a root, and I stumble forward. I brace for impact, expecting my knees to slam into the earth. Before I hit the ground, the wind swirls around me, lifting my hair, stirring leaves, soft and almost protective. I steady myself, heart hammering. What's happening to me? No answer. I swallow hard, push myself back to my feet, and walk again. Finally, I reach a stream, small and clear. Water trickles gently over smooth stones, reflecting the moon like glass. I drop to my knees, scoop a handful, and drink. Cold water hits my throat and settles in my stomach, easing the dryness. A quiet moment passes. Just me. Just the night. Just freedom. I reach into my bag and pull out my mother's photograph. Her eyes are warm, smile gentle. When she died, I promised I would live a life she'd be proud of. I tried, I whisper. I really, really tried. The picture blurs as tears spill over. My voice breaks. I don't know who I am without them. Wind brushes my cheek again. Not theirs. The words rise inside me, not spoken aloud but felt. My wolf's voice, steady and sure. Ours. I close my eyes. For the first time in years, I believe her. Hours later, exhaustion forces me to stop. I find a hollow under a large oak tree, not ideal shelter, but enough. I gather dry leaves and make a shaky bed. I pull my thin jacket tighter around me. The forest hums with life. Crickets chirp. Water flows nearby. The moon shines through branches like a silent guardian. My body is still, but my mind races. What now? Where do Omegas go when they have nothing? No home, no pack, no place to belong? I hug my knees to my chest. I don't have the answer. But running back is no longer an option. I close my eyes and whisper into the darkness. I will not be broken. My wolf presses comfortingly against the back of my mind. We will find where we belong. I let sleep drag me under. A scent wakes me. Sharp, powerful, unfamiliar. Wind shifts. Leaves rustle. A branch snaps. My heart leaps into my throat. I bolt upright, eyes scanning the darkness. My breath fogs in the cold air. The forest has gone silent, too silent. Predator silent. I push myself up slowly, muscles tense. My wolf is suddenly alert, ears pinned back, fur bristling inside me. We're not alone. Another branch cracks, louder this time. Someone is here. Who's there? I call out, voice trembling despite my attempt to sound fierce. No answer. My heart pounds like drumbeats. Fear squeezes my lungs. The scent becomes clearer. Not pack wolves, not a wild animal. Alpha. A powerful one. But not Cassian. Not anyone from the council. This scent is raw, untamed, loaded with dominance. My wolf reacts instinctively, crouching low inside me. Stranger. Dangerous. Do not show fear. I swallow hard. And take a step back. A shadow moves between the trees. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Silent. I clutch my bag strap tighter. I'm just passing through, I say, forcing steadiness into my voice. I don't want any trouble. Leaves shift. A figure emerges from the darkness. He steps into the moonlight slowly, revealing a tall man with dark hair falling over his forehead, sharp jawline, and eyes that burn with a fierce, silvery gold glow, a color I've never seen on any wolf. His presence is overwhelming, not aggressive, not hostile. Just powerful. Ancient. He looks at me, not like I'm prey, not like I'm property, but like I'm an equation he's trying to solve. His voice is low, calm, and deep. You're far outside pack territory. I open my mouth, but the words catch. He studies me, gaze flicking to my red wrists, the mark of recent binding. Why is an omega alone in the wild? I straighten. I'm not an omega of any pack. Something shifts in his eyes, confusion first, then something sharper. Impossible. I lift my chin. Watch me. Wind rustles the leaves. The moon illuminates the space between us. He looks at me like I've just broken every rule written. You walked out of a pack alive. He sounds like he doesn't believe it. I wasn't wanted. The words fall out before I can stop them. His brows pull together slightly, not in judgment, in concern. Real concern. No pack lets an omega go willingly. Well, I whisper, voice hollow, maybe I wasn't valuable enough to keep. His jaw tenses, slow, controlled, lethal anger. Not at me, at whoever discarded me. He takes a step forward. I automatically take one back. He stops. He raises his hands slightly, a gesture of peace, not dominance. I'm not here to hurt you. I study him. He doesn't move closer. He doesn't crowd me. He doesn't even let his alpha aura press against my senses. For the first time, I realize he's giving me a choice. No alpha has ever done that. What's your name? He asks quietly. Every instinct screams not to trust him. But another instinct, something deeper, older, whispers that meeting him was not coincidence. Fate put him in my path. Leora, I answer. His eyes sharpen. Not in recognition, in realization. Something clicks in his expression. My name is Kieran, he says slowly. Alpha of the Crimson Hollow. Crimson Hollow. A ghost pack. A myth whispered around fires. A pack rumored to have disappeared decades ago. You're lying, I whisper. He tilts his head slightly. Why would I lie? My heart pounds. My palms sweat. Something about him feels dangerous. But not to me. To the world. He looks at me the way storm clouds look at lightning. As if I am something unexpected. Then he speaks, voice low and steady. You smell. Ed of awakened power. I freeze. He steps closer, careful, slow, still giving space, eyes fixed on mine. Omegas don't radiate energy like that. I don't know what you're talking about. He shakes his head once. You're not ordinary. I swallow hard. Neither of us speaks for a long moment. Finally, I whisper, barely audible. I'm not broken. No, Kieran says softly. You were never broken. For the first time since the council hall, my chest loosens. Because someone finally sees me. Not as discarded, not as useless, as something more. The wind shifts again, wrapping around me like a ribbon of warmth. Kieran's eyes widen. You're marked by the moon, he whispers. I step back. That's not possible. He takes one slow step forward. His gaze drops to my arm, where faint, silver threads of light shimmer under my skin like delicate constellations. He breathes out in disbelief. Omega of the Dawn lineage. My pulse stutters. My lips part. I shake my head. That bloodline doesn't exist. It's a myth. He meets my gaze. No, he murmurs. It's destiny. Wind howls through the trees. The moon intensifies. And suddenly, I understand. I am not infertile. My body isn't broken. It's transforming. Because the world hasn't seen an omega capable of carrying twin alpha heirs in over 2 centuries. Kieran's voice drops to a whisper. You're the omega prophecy speaks of. My breath leaves me. The world tilts. My wolf speaks with absolute certainty. They tried to destroy you because they feared you. And for the first time in my life, I am no longer afraid. A wolf without a pack learns to listen to her own heartbeat. The forest stands still, not silent, still, as if the night itself is holding its breath. Kieran watches me with eyes like molten gold, sharp enough to slice through pretense and fear. His presence radiates authority, not the kind that crushes, but the kind that commands storms to part. I take a slow step back. No prophecy is about me, I whisper. I'm just an Omega who doesn't belong anywhere. You walked away from a pack alive. Kieran's voice is calm, but beneath it simmers something fierce. That alone makes you more than ordinary. I didn't walk away, I correct sharply. I was thrown out. A discarded blade still cuts, he replies. My breath catches. No one has ever spoken of me like that, not as something weak, but as something dangerous. He studies me for a moment, gaze moving slowly, intentionally avoiding dominance. Most alphas force their presence into a room like they own the air. Kieran stands like the air belongs to him, but you're invited to breathe it. His eyes shift to the faint silver threads glowing beneath the skin of my forearm. How long has the awakening been happen? He asks. Awakening, I repeat, voice shaky. Call it insanity instead. I don't even know what I am. He lifts his gaze back to mine. You are not losing control, he says. You are being revealed. I take a step away, fists tight. You don't know me. You don't. I know what power smells like. He moves closer, one slow step. And yours smells like the moon. The words hit me like lightning. Power. Something Omegas are never allowed to have. I'm leaving, I say abruptly, grabbing my bag. I don't need a stranger to tell me bedtime stories. Leora. My name on his tongue stops me. Not because of dominance. Because of concern. Walking alone into the wild with awakening power makes you a target. For alphas? I ask bitterly. Or something worse? He doesn't soften the truth. Yes, for alphas. For anyone who can sell power. For wolves who fear what they can't control. I cross my arms. No one controls me anymore. The wind shifts. Trees creak. The forest seems to lean in closer. Kieran lowers his voice. Powerful wolves don't get to be alone. Being alone is all I have left. No, he says. Being alone is what they left you with. My chest tightens. He's right. I didn't choose solitude. It was forced on me. He nods toward a narrow trail deeper into the forest. Come with me. And put myself under another alpha's authority? No. He tilts his head. You think I want to own you? Isn't that what alphas do? He exhales slowly, as if frustrated by the world rather than me. Owning someone is a beta system. Genuine alphas lead, they do not cage. I stare. He means it. I don't know how to respond to someone whose instincts are protection, not possession. I don't need saving. I never said you did. He steps back, giving space. Giving choice. No pack. No mate. No alpha. No walls, he says. You choose every direction. My breath trembles. That's what I've always wanted. Freedom. Then he adds, softer. But the world will come for you when they learn what you are. There it is. The truth beneath his offer. You want something from me. Everyone wants something, he says. I simply admit it. I narrow my eyes. And what do you want? He doesn't hesitate. To protect what the moon clearly chose. We walk. Not together, in parallel. He keeps his distance. His steps are silent, practiced. I hear no twig snap, no rustle of leaves. His presence blends into the forest like he's made from it. Crimson Hollow is close, he says. I frown. That pack doesn't exist. It exists. His tone is unwavering, just not where the world expects. Words spoken like a secret. You don't talk like other alphas, I murmur. I'm not like other alphas. Arrogant, but not in the toxic, entitled way I'm used to. Oh, his confidence is quiet, rooted, true. The trail turns narrow. Trees crowd overhead, branches weaving like a canopy. Pale moonlight spills in broken patches across the ground. Every few steps, he glances at me, not to monitor or track, but to make sure I am still okay. No alpha has ever done that. I expected anger, he says suddenly. Or more fear. I lift a shoulder. I'm too tired to be angry. Exhaustion makes room for truth. What truth? He doesn't answer immediately, he searches my expression before speaking. You don't fear being alone, he says. You fear being unwanted. The words hit deep, sharp as a silvered blade. That's not true, I whisper. But it is. It is painfully true. He stops walking. Not suddenly, slowly, giving me time to notice and react. You were never unwanted, Cassian said. Cassian is a fool. A startled laugh escapes me, brittle and almost foreign. His mouth tips, just slightly. Not a smile, something quieter. He threw away something rare. Rare doesn't mean valuable. It does to the right person. I swallow hard. Emotion rises like a wave. I blink it back. I don't need anyone to value me. I straighten. I just need to exist without being owned. He nods. Then that is what you will have. No pack. No mate. No alpha. No walls. His promise echoes with something unfamiliar. Respect. Hours later we reach the outskirts of a clearing. The forest opens abruptly into a wide valley. Mist rolls low over the grass, catching moonlight like spun glass. In the distance, nestled between cliffs and water, sits a compound of stone buildings and wooden structures. Crimson Hollow. A pack hidden by terrain and secrecy. I halt. The place radiates strength. Not the oppressive, choking strength of the Royal Council, but a strength that feels earned. Welcome, Kieran says quietly. To my home. Not your new home. Not our home. His home. And I am a guest, not a possession. Lights glow inside windows. Wolves walk quietly along pathways. Even from a distance, I feel a difference, the absence of hierarchy tension. No omega scent markers. No dominance posturing. A world without cages. My throat tightens. Kieran watches me. No one here will touch you, he says. No one will take from you. No one will claim you. I whisper, what if I don't belong here either? Belonging is not a requirement for refuge. I look up at him. Why me? He holds my gaze. Because the moon doesn't place power without reason. I can't breathe. Power. Every instinct inside me still screams that I am weak, worthless, defective. Yet this place feels safe. Too safe. And if I choose to leave tomorrow? I ask. I will walk you to the border myself, he replies. No questions. No debts owed. I tear at him, waiting for the lie. But there isn't one. Come, he murmurs. You need rest. I hesitate. Then I follow. Inside Crimson Hollow the air is warm. Soft lamplight glows along hallways carved from dark wood. Wolves nod politely as we pass. No one stares. No one whispers. No one scents the air as if I am prey. This is nothing like home. Kieran gestures toward a door. This is your room. My room. Not a cell. Not a corner. A real room. I step inside. It's small but beautiful, a soft bed, warm blankets, a shelf carved from oak, a window overlooking the valley. A folded set of clothes rests neatly on the bed. You can sleep, Kieran says. I'll have someone bring food. I turn. Kieran. He meets my gaze. I won't take anything from you, he says gently. My chest aches. I whisper, barely audible, thank you. He nods once and turns to leave. I lie on the bed, exhaustion drowning me instantly. Just before sleep claims me, I hear Kieran's voice, low and distant, speaking to someone outside the door. Do not tell the others. Not yet. A pause. She doesn't know what she is. She doesn't know what they did to her. My heart beats faster. They didn't discard her, Kieran says, voice darkening. They feared her. I fall asleep with those words echoing in my bones. I wake to pain. Not physical. Something inside me shifts. Pressure squeezes my ribcage from the inside. My vision blurs. I stumble toward the window, clutching my chest. Silver light bursts beneath my skin, bright, pulsing, alive. No, not again. I gasp, gripping the window frame as glowing threads race down my arms. My breath stutters. Power pours into me like floodwater breaking a dam. My wolf howls inside my skull. It's happening. Wind slams into the room, not from the window, but from me. Papers fly. Curtains whip violently. A force crashes outward from my body. Not weak. Not defective. Not broken. Awakened. The door bursts open. Kieran appears, eyes blazing gold. He looks at me, not afraid. Odd. Leora, he says low, voice steady despite the storm raging inside the room. What's happening to me? I gasp. He steps closer, slowly, like approaching a wild animal. You are becoming what the moon intended. I don't know how to stop it. You were never meant to stop it. My knees buckle. Kieran catches me, not grabbing, not restraining, just steadying. His voice drops to a whisper. You are not weak. I can't control it. You don't have to control it, he says. Just let it be. My breath trembles. Silver threads swirl along my arms. He doesn't flinch. You are the Omega in the prophecy, he murmurs. And then, without warning, the light collapses back into my body. The wind stops. Silence slams into the room like a final punctuation. Kieran holds my arms, steadying me. His gaze is intense, not possessive, protective. You are meant to change everything. Tears spill from my eyes. I never wanted to be special. I just wanted to be enough. You always were enough. He lets go of my arms, slowly, giving space. And now, he says quietly, the world will have to face the Omega they tried to destroy. The wind bites colder today. Not the winter wind outside the fortress walls, but the draft inside the council hall, a draft heavy with judgment, sharp with suspicion. It moves through the massive stone chamber like a living creature, tasting fear and feeding on it. And right now, my fear is enough to feed an army. My hands tremble inside the heavy fur cloak Alpha Lucian draped over my shoulders earlier, his silent gesture of protection. I still feel overwhelmed by it, not the cloak, nor the warmth, but the fact that someone bothered to shield me at all. I was discarded, declared barren, rejected, yet here I am, standing before the high elders of the Northern Territories, pregnant with twins. Alphas. The impossible. Lucian stands beside me, shoulders squared, face carved from iron and frost. You don't need to speak unless you want to, he murmurs quietly, without turning his head. I'll handle them. He sounds confident, but I feel the tension in his body like a hidden storm, tightly coiled, dangerous. In front of us, the elders sit on a raised platform, 7 ancient wolves with eyes like polished stones. The head elder, a woman named Naira, skin-inked with runes older than language, stares at me with unsettling intensity. Her voice slices the silence. So, the Baron Omega returns, she says slowly. Carrying not one heir, but 2? Whispers ripple across the chamber. Impossible. Blasphemy. No Omega has birthed twin alphas in 2 centuries. Her words land like sharp teeth sinking into a wound that never healed. Baron. It echoes inside me every time I close my eyes. I force my chin up. I was never barren. Lucian's jaw twitches, pride flaring in his aura. Elder Ravik, a man with a long scar down his cheek, leans forward. The last Omega who carried alpha twins died before birth. The power devoured her. What makes you think you will fare any differently? The pressure of their stares makes the room spin slightly. Power. Devoured. Death. Lucian steps forward smoothly, his voice cold steel. Because she is not like the others. The elders study him with open disdain. And you can be trusted, Dark Fang Alpha? Ravik sneers. Your pack's bloodline reeks of moon-cursed magic. Lucian doesn't flinch. That curse, he replies calmly, is what saved her life. The chamber freezes. Even the torches seem to hold their F. Lame. Naira's gaze shifts to me. Show us. My pulse stutters. Show, what? The bond between you and the Alpha. Several wolves gasp. Lucian and I share a bond? My heart races. I do not feel marked. I do not feel claimed. Naira speaks again. If your body accepted Lucian's Alpha signature, then the pups are legitimate. If not, she lets the threat hang in the air like a blade over my throat. Lucian's voice drops low. She will not be touched. Ravik laughs quietly. We don't harm her, we simply take the pups. A chill settles over me. Take them? My hands go to my abdomen instinctively, as if I can shield the lives inside me with touch alone. They're mine. They are the pack's, Ravik corrects. You are merely a vessel. Lucian moves so fast the torches flicker. 1 second he is beside me, the next his hand is wrapped around Ravik's throat. Say vessel again, Lucian growls, voice lethal. The elder claws at Lucian's grip, gasping, but Lucian's power doesn't waver. Naira watches with interest, not fear. Release him, Alpha. Lucian does, but slowly, deliberately. Ravik collapses coughing. You forget your place, Ravik chokes out. Lucian steps back, voice deceptively soft. You forget mine. For a moment, I swear the air thickens with power, like a storm held barely in check. Naira sighs, annoyed. If the Omega does not show the mark, this entire hearing is pointless. The pups will be placed where they serve best. Heat rises in my chest, anger, sharp and blinding. I am not a breeding machine. Naira raises a brow. No? You were rejected by your previous alpha the moment he believed you were infertile. The blow lands like a punch. Images flash, Cassian's cold eyes as he signed the separation decree, the pack turning away, the cold stone floor beneath my knees. Lucien's voice becomes a low snarl. Don't compare her worth to a fool who couldn't see it. My throat tightens. Worth. Nobody ever used that word for me before. Naira stands slowly, stepping down from the platform. We require proof. She takes my wrist, palm up, fingers tracing that small spot where mate marks form. The skin is bare. Lucien frowns. We haven't. Naira cuts him off. You may not have completed a bond. But if there is truth here, with surprising gentleness, she places my palm on Lucien's chest, over his heartbeat. The moon goddess will show us. His heartbeat thunders under my palm. Boom, boom, boom. A pulse of warmth spreads into my hand, soft, steady, growing stronger. Energy coils around us, silver and blue threads appearing in the air like scattered moonlight. Gasps fill the hall. My breath catches, not because of Lucien, not because of the mark, but because something ancient and powerful awakens inside me. Not borrow. Power. Not given power. Mine. My blood hums like a song the moon composed long before I existed. Lucien stiffens, eyes widening not in dominance but in awe. Leora, he breathes. Naira releases my wrist and steps back, watching the light intensify. The silver threads sink into my skin, spiraling up my arm, wrapping around my heart, then connecting to Lucien's chest like a luminous bond. It feels like the moon itself opened inside me. A memory flashes, the night I collapsed on the riverbank, cold, terrified, waiting for death. Then Lucien, kneeling beside me, cloak around my body, whispering, "You are not done yet." He didn't claim me then. He protected me. The silver light pulses once and surges. The torches flicker, dim, then blaze brighter than before. Naira whispers, "It is not a claim mark. It is a moon bond." Ravik staggers back. That hasn't existed in centuries. Naira nods. Only an omega chosen by the goddess could form a bond without physical touch, without ceremony. The room is stunned silent. Lucien looks at me, not with possession or obligation, but reverence. Leora, you did that. I pull my hand back, heart racing. I didn't do anything. Naira's voice softens. You existed. That was enough. I swallow hard, overwhelmed. Ravik recovers his voice. The pups prove nothing. Magic cannot replace proof of paternity. Naira rolls her eyes. Ravik, even your bad temper cannot deny what we all just witnessed. But Ravik points at a small orb in front of the elder table, the Lunaris sphere, a relic that reveals truth. Let the sphere speak. The other elders murmur agreement. Naira hesitates. The sphere is unpredictable, it reveals truth, but not always gently. Lucien places himself between me and the table. No. I touch his elbow. I'll do it. He turns to me, voice low. You don't have to prove anything to them. I know. I look at him fully. But I need to prove it to myself. He searches my face and must see something there, determination, desperation, both, because after a long moment, he steps aside. Naira brings the sphere down from its stand. It glows faintly, surface swirling like trapped moonlight. Place your hand here, Omega. I inhale slowly. My heart pounds. I press my palm against the sphere. Cold, then burning. Then, a rush of visions floods my mind. Moonlight pouring from the sky, a wolf with silver eyes kneeling beside me, a heartbeat that wasn't mine, twins wrapped in light, my knees buckle. Lucien catches me instantly, hands strong on my shoulders. Leora. Naira's voice trembles. The sphere, it reacted to her bloodline. Ravik sputters, explain. Naira's eyes widen as she reads the runes forming across the sphere's surface. She carries the lineage of the first mother. The original Omega. The chamber becomes chaos. The first mother? Impossible. That bloodline vanished. Naira ignores them. She steps closer to me, eyes bright with something like awe or fear. You are the last descendant of the moon-chosen line. Lucien's voice drops, dangerously quiet. Meaning? Naira meets his eyes. Meaning those twins growing inside her aren't just alphas. Everyone stares. Then what are they? Lucien asks. Naira inhales slowly. They are heirs to the ancient prophecy. Destined to unite divided packs. Lucien's expression shifts, not fear, not shock, but understanding. He knew something like this was possible long before today. Ravik slams a fist on the table. If that is true, we must take them immediately. Lucien moves. Pure alpha dominance ignites the air, fierce, brutal, suffocating. Ravik collapses back, gasping, unable to withstand the pressure. No one, Lucien says softly, will touch them. Silence falls. Not the silence of fear. The silence of acknowledgement. Naira raises one hand. This hearing is finished. The Omega and the Alpha are dismissed under full protection of the Council. Lucien doesn't wait for further discussion. He wraps an arm securely around me, steady, grounding, and leads me out of the hall. But the moment we are outside, away from the Elder's eyes, my strength drains. My voice is a whisper. Lucien, I don't understand any of it. He stops, turning me gently to face him. You don't have to understand everything today. What matters is that you are safe. I open my mouth, but emotion swells too fast to form words. He adds softly, and you are not alone anymore. Not alone. The words break something inside me. Tears fill my eyes, not weak, not despairing, but freeing. After so long being unseen, unprotected, unwanted, someone stands beside me without expecting anything in return. No claim, no obligation, no ownership, just presence, just choice. Lucien looks at me like I am not a burden or a responsibility, but a miracle. I wipe my tears with the back of my hand. I'm scared. I know. He doesn't promise false comfort. He doesn't tell me I shouldn't be afraid. He simply stays. And maybe that is what I needed all along. Not a savior, not a mate, just someone who doesn't leave. That night, as I lie in my chamber, the twins flutter faintly inside me, as if sensing my emotions. You're safe, I whisper, hand over my belly. I'll protect you. A presence shifts at the doorway. Lucien stands there, leaning against the frame, half in shadow. I won't enter unless you ask, he says quietly. Something painful and beautiful twists inside my chest. Stay, I whisper. He nods, steps inside, and sits in the chair near my bed, not touching, not intrude. Just being there. Guarding, watching. The world finally makes sense. Not because everything is fixed, but because someone finally sees me. The morning sun slants through the tall windows, spilling soft golden light across the chamber floor. For a moment, I pretend that today is normal, that I'm just another Omega, that nothing rare or impossible grows inside me, that the world is not secretly preparing to either worship or destroy me. But reality returns the moment I place a hand on my belly. 2 heartbeats answer me, 2 tiny pulses of life. My heart warms, but at the same time a shadow stirs in the back of my mind, a fear I cannot shake, a fear that yesterday's victory in the council hall was only the beginning of something far larger and far more dangerous. Lucien's voice echoes in my memory from last night, you are safe. And you are not alone anymore. I cling to those words like a lifeline. A soft knock breaks the silence. Leora? Lucien's voice carries through the door, controlled but strained, as if something weighs heavily on him. Come in, I say. The door opens, revealing him dressed in dark tactical gear. The black leather vest and fitted guard trousers make him look even more like the stories mothers used to scare their mischievous pups, the monster of the northern wilds. But I know better now. He is not a monster. He is a man who has learned to be dangerous because the world gave him no other choice. Still, something is off. His eyes are colder, jaw tighter. A storm lives behind those irises. I sit up straighter on the bed. Lucien? What's wrong? He hesitates. Lucien never hesitates. We have news. The hair on my arms rises. About the prophecy? I ask, voice barely above a whisper. No. His voice drops into something deeper, darker. About your past. My stomach clenches. My past? Lucien walks to the edge of the bed but keeps a respectful distance, always careful to avoid making me feel cornered. You said your parents died from sickness, correct? Yes. The memory is hazy, painful, a fever that swept through the village. Bodies wrapped in cloth, ash drifting into the sky. Lucien's voice softens, but the words land like cold stone. They were murdered. My breath stops. No, I whisper, shaking my head. No, I would remember, you were drugged. Poppy mist is often used to suppress memory. Whoever killed them wanted you alive. Alive, but powerless. Alive, but unaware. Alive, because of what I carry. I wrap my trembling arms around myself. Why would anyone want to murder them? Lucian looks at me with quiet intensity. Because your bloodline threatens the power of others. The room feels too small. Too suffocating. Who? I whisper. He takes a slow breath. We don't know. Yet. But we have a lead. A knock interrupts us again, sharper, urgent this time. Lucian stiffens. Enter, he commands. The door swings open, revealing one of Lucian's warriors, Kale, the pack's strategist. His blonde hair is messy, worry etched across his face. Alpha, he says, gaze flicking to me briefly before returning to Lucian. We have an intruder. Lucian straightens. Where? Kale hesitates. Gatehouse. He asked to see the Omega. By name. By name. My heartbeat stutters. Lucian's aura darkens, filling the room like thunder. No one sees her. Kale swallows hard. He claims he was her former alpha. The air leaves my lungs. Cassian. The world tilts. The walls blur. Lucian's voice turns lethal. Escort him to the interrogation chamber. He refuses to be restrained. Lucian's smile is slow and predatory. He will be. Kale hurries out. Lucian turns toward me. Stay here, he says, voice gentler now. I'm coming with you. No. His tone brooks no argument. I'm done hiding. Something flickers in his eyes, frustration, protectiveness, respect. You owe him nothing, Lucian whispers. I owe myself the truth. Silence stretches. Lucian studies me, not as an Omega to be protected, but as a person capable of making her own decisions. Finally, he nods once. Stay behind me. We descend through the fortress corridors, passing guards who lower their heads in respect. Every step closer to the gatehouse tightens the knot in my stomach. I try to inhale slowly, but Cassian's scent hits me before I see him. Not through the bond. That bond is gone, severed, but through memory. Evergreen. Steel. Winter. Lucian stops in the doorway, blocking my view. A cold voice cuts through the room. Move, Darkfang. I freeze. Cassian. Lucian steps aside, but not out of the way, just enough for me to see. Cassian stands in the center of the chamber, flanked by armed warriors. His shoulders are rigid, eyes cold as frost. He hasn't changed, except he has. His face is sharper, jaw clenched with tension, his wolf radiating dominance like a shield. When his gaze lands on me, everything stops. His expression fractures. Leora. My name on his lips feels wrong. Foreign. He takes a step forward. Lucian blocks him instantly. That's far enough. Cassian's lips curl. Always the guard dog. And you, Lucian replies, are always 10 seconds away from losing a limb. Cassian ignores him, focusing on me. You're alive. Disappointed? My voice doesn't break. I'm proud of that. His eyes flash with something like pain, but I no longer trust what I see. I looked for you. No, I correct quietly. You looked for a fertile Omega to replace me. He flinches. Leora? He swallows. I was told you were barren. That's WH. Why? That's why you abandoned me, I finish. I released you because our pack needed an heir. I shake my head slowly. Even now, he speaks about needs, not about me. You never asked if I was okay. You only cared that I couldn't give you what you wanted. Cassian's gaze drops to my belly, visible now, slight but undeniable. You're pregnant. Lucian steps into his line of sight, blocking me. I'll remove your eyes if you stare at her like that again. Cassian laughs once, harsh, bitter. So you marked her. Lucian's voice goes deadly quiet. I didn't. Cassian freezes. What? She carries my pups, Lucian continues, but she is not my property. My throat tightens. He does not claim me out of obligation. Cassian turns to me, eyes wide. Leora, you never let me, you never asked. He looks like I slapped him. Twice. He tries to mask it with anger. You think he's better? That he won't use you the way all alphas do? Lucian doesn't move, but power ripples off him. You used her, Lucian says. I protect her. Cassian takes a step closer, ignoring the guards raising their weapons. I made a mistake, Cassian whispers, voice cracking. Come back. We can fix this. I study him. Once, those words would have destroyed me. Once, I would have begged him to stay. Now? I don't need to be fixed. Cassian's jaw tightens. You're carrying alpha pups. That belongs in my pack. Lucian moves so fast the floor cracks beneath his boot. He slams Cassian against the wall with one hand wrapped lightly, too lightly, around his throat. They are not yours. Cassian struggles, choking, fingers clawing at Lucian's wrist. You think you can protect her from the prophecy? From the elders? From fate itself? Lucian leans closer, voice a lethal whisper. Watch me. Cassian's eyes dart to me, furious, desperate, wounded. Leora, he rasps. You were mine. I step forward, spine straight. No, I say softly. I was never yours. You just didn't notice until someone else valued me. Lucian releases him. Cassian collapses to his knees, coughing. Lucian speaks without looking back. Escort the intruder to the borders. If he returns, break his legs. Kale grins. With pleasure. 2 guards drag Cassian away. He doesn't fight, but as he's pulled out of the fortress, he turns his head and locks eyes with me. This isn't over. For the first time, I believe him. Hours later, Lucian stands with me on the balcony overlooking the vast forest. The torn pieces of rage and fear inside me finally settle into something quieter, steadier. Freedom. He watches me silently, not pushing, not prying. When I finally speak, my voice is small. Do you think he'll come back? Yes. My heart drops. But this time, Lucian continues, you won't ace him alone. I turn toward him, searching his face. Why are you doing this? His answer is simple. Because you deserve to be chosen. The words strike deeper than anything Cassian ever said. Maybe this is what safety feels like. Not cages. Not possession. Not being needed. Being valued. For the first time in my life, I believe that I am something more than what I can give. I am someone worth protecting. The twins flutter inside me, gentle, reassuring. And for the first time since I was rejected and left for dead, I feel strong. Strong enough to face what's coming next. The moon had not risen yet, but the world already felt too still, unnaturally quiet, like the forest itself was holding its breath. War was coming. I stood on the east tower balcony, wrapped in a thick cloak Lucian placed over my shoulders before he left to prepare the warriors. His scent lingered on the fur, forest and frost and something fierce underneath. Despite the chill, I felt warm. Different from before. Not because I was protected. Because I finally believed I deserved to be. Below, the courtyard swarmed with energy. Warriors sharpened blades. Scouts ran across ramparts delivering messages. The hum of power rippled through the air, tense, crackling, ready. Cassian was returning. Not alone. He was bringing an army. To take the pups. To take me. My hands instinctively covered my stomach. The twins responded with a faint flutter, calm, steady, steadying me. We'll be okay, I whispered. For them, I wasn't afraid. For myself, perhaps a little. A shift of shadow made me turn. Lucian approached from behind, silent as ever. His dark armor absorbed the light, his presence filled space effortlessly. Yet, when his eyes found mine, something gentle softened in them. You shouldn't be up here, he murmured. You need to rest. I need to see, I replied. I won't hide again. A muscle in his jaw tightened, tension, not anger. He stepped beside me. You're braver than you know. No, I corrected softly. I just have more to lose than ever before. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The wind tugged at his hair, carrying the scent of pine and steel. He was ready for war, for bloodshed, and yet, standing beside me, he felt like safety itself. Finally, he exhaled. The scouts spotted Cassian's army by the ridge. They'll be here at dawn. A tremor ran through me. Not fear. Resolve. What does he want, Lucian? You, he said simply. No hesitation. I swallowed. And the twins. His voice turned darker. He will not get them. Silence. A soft, fragile kind. I felt Lucian's gaze on me. You know, he said quietly, you've changed. I blinked. How? When I found you by the river, rejected, feverish, you looked like someone who had GI. Then up on life. His voice was gentle, but raw. Now, you look like someone ready to fight for it. My eyes stung. Not with weakness, but gratitude. You're the one who helped me believe I was worth fighting for. His expression shifted. Something unspoken flickered and faded before he spoke again. I didn't do anything, he murmured. No. I smiled faintly. You didn't leave. Something in his posture relaxed, like those words meant more to him than any declaration ever could. Dawn. The horn sounded just as the first sunrise painted the sky in pale light. A deep, thunderous sound rolled across the valley. They were here. Lucian stepped forward. Stay inside. If anything breaks the lines, Kale will get you out through the tunnels. I'm staying, I insisted. He turned sharply, voice low but firm. Leora, I won't run again. His eyes softened. He didn't like it, but he understood. Then stay behind me. The fortress doors opened, and we walked out together. Warriors parted, bowing their heads to Lucian as he passed. Some glanced curiously at me, not with pity or disdain, but with respect. Not because I carried alphas. Because yesterday, I faced the elders without flinching. Because today, I did not run from my past. Cassian's army stood at the edge of the forest, wolves in armor, weapons drawn, faces cold. Cassian himself stepped forward. When his eyes found me, something viciously possessive twisted in them. You're coming back with me. Lucian moved, placing himself between us, not touching me, but shielding me completely. She's not yours, Lucian said. Cassian's lips curled. Everything changed when I learned what she carries. It changed when you abandoned her, Lucian replied, voice quiet and lethal. Cassian turned his gaze fully on me. Leora, tell me you want to come home. My home died the day he declared me barren and turned away like I was nothing. I am home, I said softly. Cassian's face hardened. Then I'll take you by force. Lucian raised his voice, not loud, but powerful enough to ripple through the army. You will not cross this border. Cassian laughed once, cruel and cold. Try to stop me. And then, war erupted. The battle wolves shifted, snarling. Steel clashed. Shouts filled the air. Lucian moved like a storm, swift, precise, unstoppable. He didn't fight with rage. He fought with purpose. For every opponent who struck, he struck back harder. He fought to protect. He fought for me. But the battlefield churned too fast. Cassian broke through, eyes blazing with fury and desperation. He came straight toward me. I stepped back, heart racing. Don't make this harder, Cassian snarled. I was going to give you everything. You wanted to own me, I said. Lucian wants me to ch. Oos. Cassian grabbed my arm. And the world snapped. A violent surge of power ripped through me, not from fear, not from panic. Instinct. The air around me shimmered, silver threads of moonlight burst from my skin, spiraling outward. Cassian was thrown backward, skidding across the ground. The entire battlefield froze. Lucian's head snapped toward me, eyes wide. Leora, I looked down. My arms glowed with silver markings, intricate, ancient symbols that pulsed in rhythm with the twins' heartbeats. My voice trembled. What's happening? Naira's voice echoed from behind us. She had arrived without anyone seeing her. The First Mother awakens. Cassian staggered to his feet, stunned. What are you? I lifted my chin. I am not powerless. Lucian slowly walked toward me, eyes full of awe. Your bloodline. The prophecy. The bond. It's real. Cassian choked on disbelief. The elders will never allow. Naira cut him off. The elders do not control fate. Cassian pointed his sword at Lucian. She belongs with her true alpha. Lucian answered before I could. She belongs to herself. Cassian lunged. Something inside me rose, not fear. Not instinct. Power. My voice split the air. Stop. Moonlight exploded outward, blinding, pure, echoing from the earth itself. Cassian was thrown back again, crumpling to his knees. Not hurt, but restrained, held immobile by silver threads binding him to the ground. I hadn't touched him. I had simply spoken. Naira whispered, you command the moon. Lucian wasn't afraid. He was proud. Cassian stared at me, defeated. So this is it. I lose because you got stronger. No, I said quietly. You lost because you never valued me when I was weak. He closed his eyes. And finally, he surrendered. Aftermath. The battle ended without another drop of blood. Cassian left with his remaining warriors, defeated, but alive. Naira departed soon after, leaving us with a final prophecy. When the twins are born, peace will follow. Lucian walked me back to the fortress, but this time there was no distance between us. No guarded silence. When we entered my chamber, he didn't speak at first, as if searching for words strong enough to hold what had just happened. Finally, he whispered, you chose to stay. I met his eyes. You chose me first. He shook his head slowly. Not chose. Recognized. His voice turned almost reverent. You were always extraordinary. My throat tightened. I just needed someone to see it. I saw it the moment I found you, he murmured. The world saw a broken omega. I saw a beginning. I blinked away tears. I'm not afraid anymore. You never needed to be. I placed a hand on my belly. The twins moved gently, as if agreeing. Lucian? Yes? I think I am ready to live. He didn't touch me. He didn't need to. His presence was enough. And for the first time in my entire life, I wasn't surviving. I was living. And loved. Epilogue. 3 months later, snow blanketed the Darkfang fortress. The twins kicked rhythmically as I sat by the fire, warmth against my skin. Lucian entered quietly, carrying a blanket. You're cold, he murmured, wrapping it around me. I smiled. You worry too much. I don't worry, he corrected. I prepare. A tiny flutter pressed against my palm. Lucian placed his hand gently beside mine, hesitantly, always giving space. The babies responded immediately, nudging his palm. He froze. They know you, I whispered. His voice was thick. They know you. I'm just lucky enough to be near you. I rested my head on his shoulder, not needing ownership, or marks, or vows. Just presence. Just choice. Outside the window, the moon hung full and bright over the fortress, a silent witness to everything fate tried to take from me. I once thought rejection destroyed me. In truth, it set me free. I am Leora, daughter of the first mother. Bearer of the first alpha twins in 200 years. Chosen by the moon. Chosen by myself. And finally, home. End of Book 1, happy ending.